Good.
Please.
Good. Yes. Okay.
Hello, Amrita.
As it was
Yes.
mentioned, my topic of talk is about study of the effect of turmeric on glycemic status, lipid profile,
Amrita.
antioxidant capacity, and
Yes, sir.
hs-CRP.
Actually, this is time for the myself is Ajay Prakash Gupta, but you, I think you shifted to next one.
In hyperlipidemic type
Yes,
2
sir.
diabetes
Actually,
mellitus patients.
I will text.
Okay, ma'am.
Well, in order to, well, so first of all, in order to refresh your memory, I'd like to mention that diabetes mellitus is the most common metabolic disorder all around the world, which accompanies with absolute or relative insulin deficiency, increase in blood glucose and disorder of carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. Rise in blood sugar and lipid in diabetic patients leads to the exacerbation of the incidence of diabetes mellitus late onset complications. Regarding the side effects and sometimes inefficacy of synthetic drugs, researchers have always been interested in using herbal medicine in order to improve blood chemistry and in general, and sugar and lipid concentrations in particular. The goal of this study was to assess the effect of turmeric on glycemic status, lipid profile, total antioxidant capacity, and hs-CRP in hyperlipidemic type 2 diabetes mellitus patients. Actually, I'd like to mention that turmeric or curcuma longa, that is the scientific name, belongs to the Zingiberacea family species, and actually is being used as daily spices in Asian countries, and especially in Middle East, and especially in my country, Iran, in daily cooking and daily intake and daily preparations of the different foods, very common spices. And also I would like to mention that turmeric contains a pigment that is called curcuminoids that composes 3 to 5% of the turmeric, and itself includes three pigments. That one is called curcumin, the other dimethylcurcumin, and the third one bismethylcurcumin. And actually, curcumin is the major active component of the turmeric. And so, as far as the methodology of this study is concerned, actually, yeah, this study was a double-blind, randomized clinical trial in which hyperlipidemic patients, just keep in mind that our subjects were hyperlipidemic type 2 diabetes mellitus patients. Hyperlipidemic patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus were recruited. The study was approved by Ethics Committee for Human Studies of Iran and Tehran Universities of Medical Sciences and was registered in IRCT, Iranian IRCT. Patients were categorized into 2 groups, each containing 40 individuals. Patients intervention group received 2100 milligrams of turmeric powder daily for 8 weeks. Who individuals of control group took placebo. I'm trying to remove this. Okay. All right. I got rid of this picture. Okay. Patients of intervention group received 2100 milligrams of turmeric powder daily for 8 weeks, while individuals of control group took placebo during this time. from every patient in the two groups at the beginning and at the end of the study, 10 ml of blood samples were withdrawn, and the amount of average fasting blood sugar, insulin, HOMA-IR, hemoglobin A1C, triglyceride, total cholesterol, LDL-C, HDL-C, apolipoprotein A1, apolipoprotein B, total antioxidant capacity, and hs-CRP of serum were measured. Food intakes were recorded using 24-hour food recall. Anthropometric indices and systolic and diastolic blood pressure were measured. The statistical analysis was carried out using paired and independent t-test and chi-square. As far as the results of this study is concerned, with regard to the weight and BMI, when we compared the placebo group with the turmeric group, there were no significant differences with regard to the weight change. But within treatment, I mean, before and after treatment with the turmeric, as you see that there was a statistically significant reduction of weight by using turmeric. However, the mean differences of the two groups of the placebo and turmeric group, the mean differences again did not show any significant differences between the placebo and turmeric group. But with regard to BMI, body mass index, as you see, between treatment, I mean, comparison of the placebo with the turmeric group, again, there was no significant differences. But mean differences, I mean, end of study variation, mean differences of end of study of variation, when comparing the placebo with turmeric group, there was significant differences. And more importantly, within treatment in the turmeric group, before and after treatment in the turmeric group itself, there was highly significant differences. I mean, the BMI was reduced by administration of turmeric powder. Actually, with regard to systolic and diastolic blood pressure, when we compared the systolic blood pressure of the placebo and turmeric group, there was no significant differences between treatment. However, before and after treatment in the turmeric group, as you see, there is significant differences in the turmeric group itself. And also the end of study variations between placebo and turmeric group also was significantly different. So one of the major effects was on the turmeric administration was on the systolic blood pressure, of course, within treatment. With regard to diastolic blood pressure, yeah, when we compared the diastolic blood pressure of the placebo group with the turmeric group, as you see, there is significant differences, significant reduction of the diastolic blood pressure. So this is one of the major effects of the turmeric. And also end of study variation, mean of end of study variation, or mean variation of the two groups, I mean placebo and turmeric group, was significantly different. I don't know these crosses. What is this crosses on my screen? Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. With regard to blood lipid profiles, that one of the our main objective by administration of the turmeric. As you see, with regard to the triglyceride, and also LDL cholesterol. As you see, there is significant differences between the placebo and turmeric group. In other words, the administration of the turmeric significantly reduced the triglyceride level. And also within treatment, I mean, before and after treatment with the turmeric, again, there is significant reduction of the triglyceride. Likewise, in the LDL cholesterol, as you see again, when we compare the placebo group with the turmeric group, there is significant reduction. And also within treatment, before and after administration of the turmeric, there was significant reduction of the cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. That is actually beneficial. It is in benefit of the diabetic, hyperlipidemic diabetic patients. With regard to total cholesterol, again, comparing the placebo group with the turmeric group, there is significant reduction and significant reduction of the total cholesterol, and also end of study of variation of, again, comparing placebo with the turmeric group was highly significant. But one of the contradictory findings is about the HDL cholesterol. The HDL cholesterol, in contrast to our hypothesis that we expected to be increased, as you see, both in the placebo and turmeric group, HDL was reduced. But we can offer interpretation for this finding. First of all, although in the placebo group the HDL cholesterol was reduced, but reduction was not significant. Actually, was significant. Reduction was significant. But in the turmeric group, as you see, in the placebo group, reduction of the HDL was statistically significant. But in the turmeric group, as you see, the reduction is not significant. And one of the interpretation of this finding is I mean, so in the turmeric group, the reduction was not significant within treatment. One of the interpretation is, as I mentioned, our patients were hyperlipidemic type 2 diabetic mellitus patients, subjects, and they were using their routine drug therapy. I mean, blood glucose lowering agents, blood lipid lowering agents, especially statins medications. So usually statins reduces all parameters of the lipid profile, including HDL cholesterol. But as I said, in the turmeric group, this reduction was not significant. So one of the reasons is the patients were using their own routine blood lipid lowering agents, especially statins. So one major effect of the turmeric, as you see, is on the improvement of the blood lipid profiles. With regard to the blood apolipoproteins parameters, the apolipoprotein A1, I mean, between treatment placebo group and turmeric group, actually statistically was significant. But with regard to the apolipoprotein B, there was no any significant differences between the placebo group and turmeric group. With regard to parameters of glycemia, well, we expected that turmeric reduces the blood glycemia parameters, although there was apparent reductions of the glycemia parameters, but there was no statistical significance. I mean, neither fasting blood sugar, as you see, there is no significant differences between placebo and turmeric group, and also serum insulin, hemoglobin A1C, and insulin resistance, namely HOMA-IR. So there was no significant differences between placebo and turmeric group, although there was apparent reduction. That again, I explained that I would like to explain one of the most important issues that working with these herbs or other supplements we are facing with. You see, our patients must use their own routine drug therapies, namely blood lipid lowering agents, blood glucose lowering agents. They were using daily. These drugs mask the effect of the herbs, or antioxidant or supplements. So it is one of the reasons that we cannot observe real effect of these herbs or supplements. That's major issue that scientists that were using different supplements or antioxidants, anti-inflammatory agents or herbs, they are facing with and should take into and they must take into consideration in interpretation of their own results. With regard to food intake, we took daily food intake of the subjects. When we compared the placebo group with the turmeric group, there was I'm sorry, this slide is not about the food intake. With regard to the antioxidant capacity and CRP, well, total antioxidant capacity and CRP, hs-CRP. Again, our hypothesis was that we observed the high level of total antioxidant capacity and reduction of the hs-CRP. But against our hypothesis, we did not observe any significant differences between the placebo and turmeric group statistically, although there is apparent reduction, apparent changes, but not the statistical significance, neither about total antioxidant capacity and nor hs-CRP. So total antioxidant capacity are indicative of the antioxidant activity of the turmeric, and hs-CRP is indicative of the anti-inflammatory effects of the turmeric. That in our result we did not observe statistical differences. Maybe we should do this experiment with longer period of time, and also with higher sample size to observe some effects. And again, I would like to emphasize that routine drug therapies can mask the effect of these herbs, including the turmeric. With regard to the food intake, we took the record of the macronutrients, energy intake, carbohydrate, protein, and fat. We did not again observe any significant differences between the placebo and turmeric group, neither between treatment nor within treatment. Well, if I want to mechanistically give some interpretation, some information regarding the effect of the turmeric on the these type 2 diabetes mellitus patients, I'd like to mention that turmeric can increase the glycolysis, increase glycogenesis, suppress gluconeogenesis, suppress fatty synthase, increases beta oxidation, decrease lipid store in body, decrease lipid peroxidation, and increases metabolic rate, and decreases body mass index. that's why that turmeric may have the effect on the weight reduction that we observed. We observed actually, we observed the reduction of the BMI in our patients. And also, we observed the very significant effect on the lipid profile, that these mechanisms actually can be offered for the effect of the turmeric. And also, turmeric can increase the activity of antioxidative enzymes such as superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione peroxidase, and also suppresses inflammatory elements such as COX-2, cyclooxygenase 2, prostaglandins, leukotrienes, NF-kappa B, and TNF-alpha tumor necrosis factors. So by these effects, turmeric can improve actually lipid profile, and also improves the glycemia of the patient, decreases BMI. So in conclusion, I can mention that the result of this study showed that intake of turmeric powder has caused improving lipid profiles, lowering body mass index, and blood pressure. Yeah, actually, one of the again effects that we observed, reduction of diastolic blood pressure, significant reduction of the diastolic blood pressure in patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus. But there were no significant effects on glycemic status, total antioxidant capacity, and serum hs-CRP. So thank you very much for your patience. Appreciate.